Hello, Gary Champion this morning with another hopefully informative video. Also, it's an infomercial. Our website has a store page on it with things for sale. So the next time you're on my website, look, there's rings with gemstones that I made myself. There's books on there that I wrote, edited, and published myself. Got to keep the lights on here. That's what we do. Little infomercial. I was sitting here looking at various things, getting ready to do a reading this morning, and someone said, "Hey, we learned our lesson." I was hoping they weren't talking about me. Usually, I don't need a lesson. Usually, I know in advance what's going to happen, so I don't make a mess of things. Usually, I, I preempt my own silliness or stupidity or whatever you want to call it by listening, which is what psychic mediums do. Time to listen now. Well, that's all I got. Have we learned our lesson? Big question mark. I thought, well, I thought I did a video about that. And this is different. I can't say that. You know, even the people that are causing the problem have not learned a lesson. So no, we haven't learned our lesson because future generations won't look at any of this as valuable. They'll say, well, that was then. That was those people way back then. They're not going to look at the pandemic in 1918 and see the pictures that are available online for everybody to look at where they're all wearing masks. When did we get around to that? After a few million people were infected, and then we still aren't. There's a new woman moving into the White House. I don't remember what her job is, but she says, I'm not wearing a mask. They're so restrictive. That's today. And we had like a million more people infected. This is this exponential thing going on, which happens when a certain number of people get infected with the virus, then it grows exponentially. It like doubles and quadruples and very quickly. Um, Shots on its way, and we're our own worst enemy because we've been locked up for so long. My wife and I haven't gone anywhere. We go to the grocery store, and that's pretty much it. But um, interstate and highways are all just jammed with people going someplace. They're not wearing any mask. A lot of the stores have stopped demanding that you wear a mask here because people have been shot over it. This is Texas, the Wild West. You won't tell me to wear a mask. And fist fights and arrests, and um, occasionally someone's been shot. I've seen it on the news around the country. Um, and the difficulty is when you're looking at this pandemic as how it's affecting you and not everybody else. That's where the problem is. That humans are an independent lot anyway. In some states, more so than others. It's a less restrictive environment. I'm not going to name these states. I'm not that crazy. But there's a less restrictive policy. And we're not going to do what you tell us to do because they're thinking in terms of just themselves and their pleasure zones and whatever. I don't want to be told, and they're uncomfortable, and I don't. Yeah, but if you infect 5 or 6 people every time you go out, you may be killing people. That's what we should be looking at. We should not be thinking about ourselves as how inconvenienced we are. And that's what it's gotten down to. It's been, I don't know. We knew it was here in March because we were at a show doing a thing, and I turned to my wife and said, "We're not coming back here again." And she didn't know what it meant, and I didn't know what it meant. And I was right. And I got home. Let's see, we came home on a Sunday night, and the Monday morning woke up and canceled all my shows. I felt it was bigger than we're not coming back to this particular venue. We're not coming back on the road. So I canceled all mine the Monday after, I think it was the 7th or 8th of March of this year. And at that time, we didn't know what it was about. I didn't know what it was about. I had no clue. Because idiots who knew didn't tell us. And the group that monitors infectious diseases they all got fired by Mr. Stupid. Sorry. So we didn't have prior warning. Other countries did. We didn't listen to them. They said, "Oh, this stuff's bad." Well, we're Americans. We don't. Nothing bothers us. We'll be all right. And had we known in January, which is when they knew that something was going on, we wouldn't have gone to that show. We would have stayed home and canceled everything then. Is the fear of knowing that something bad is going to happen greater than knowing it? I believe for some it is. I know because I've done a lot of readings where when you're in a meditative state giving a reading, you can't stop and rationalize everything you're doing because it's not a rational business. It's not a rational thought process. It's not a thought process at all. I hear things, I say things. And in the middle of a reading, someone will say, "Cancer." I'll say, "Are you the person that's had cancer?" And they'll say, "Yes," or "I've just discovered that I have it," or go to the doctor and discover they have had it because I told them they did and where it was. And the response from them is varied. Some of them, it's, "Gee, I'm glad I found out because I'm alive now." Or my heart, you tell someone their heart's about to give out on them, and they say, "Oh, well, oh, I'm American. My heart's fine. I know everything." And it's in the nature of us to be that way. I don't know why, but it is. It's not some new thing. Yeah. Saber-tooth tiger's outside the cave, John. Don't go out there. Not John. Oogle. Oogle is a big saber-tooth tiger. "I'm a big caveman. I'm not going to saber-tooth tiger either." Well, I guess we won't be seeing Oogle again. It's in the nature of man to be skeptical and independent, and that's how we climb mountains and go to the bottom of the ocean and go to the moon. That's why we do that. We think we can, therefore we do. But it doesn't work in this case. But if you tell someone their heart's about to give out, and they say, "Oh, I don't know, I'm fine. I passed my physical and everything," and then they come by 2-3 weeks later showing me a huge scar down the middle where they did have to do something, and they're surviving. They said, "Yeah, I'll be around for another 20 years." They tell me. That person wanted to know, but during the time of the reading, they not happy to hear that. So in some people, the fear of knowing that you have something is greater than not knowing. And okay, men, I'm talking to you now, that men will not go to the doctor on the fear that there might be something wrong with them. Oh, my daddy died of this when he was 49 and I'm 48, so I'm just not going to go to the doctor. I don't want to know. Then something else gets them that would have been caught by a general exam, and they die of that one instead of the one they feared. But a man will put off going to a doctor 20 years, and whatever he's got just gets worse and worse and worse, and they know it. Then they croak at 49, and had they gone to a professional, a doctor, to run tests, they would have discovered it. They would have had a shot. They would have done an operation. Life could have been different. Now, and again, it's that we tend to think of ourselves. How's this going to affect my life? My quality of life is gone. Ugh, I'm so upset. And then you're not thinking of your children. They're not going to have you around. And the grandchildren that'll never know their grandfather because you were stupid and you thought you knew better. Oh, I'm a big man. I don't need to. So this is something we don't learn. We don't learn lessons. We temporarily learn them maybe. But this pandemic's been, people are falling dead everywhere. And still there's people walking around without masks. Oh, I'm an American. I don't have to, this is blah, blah, we live here and we don't worry about such things because we're, that's who we are. And then they're dead. You remember the whole bunch of preachers that went into church and started preaching and infected all their people with whatever it was they had, and like 14 of them died. And that preacher now who insisted that God would save him, blah, 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 blah. He's dead now. How many of those have you seen on the internet? At least a half a dozen. Wise up. Don't think about you. Think that there's 300 other million, I can't say that, guys, people out there that you could save, but not being stupid. Have we learned anything? Not really. Not really. And here's the funny thing. It has nothing to do with smart. Fauci's smart and he gets it. But a guy standing right next to him is a PhD from some major university that's 60 years old. He's seen everything, and he's I don't believe in that. So it's not brains. It's who we are. Who we are as people, as humans. Dog goes across the street and there's a black cat over there. And the dog wants to be friends with the black cat. The black cat, it doesn't have a temper, just a normal black cat. Dog goes up and starts sniffing and playing. Oh, come on, let's play. And the cat reaches out and whacks him once. Normal for a cat, normal for a dog to do that, normal for the cat to whack him in the face. And he's got a little blood going down the side of his cheek. He didn't go back. He'll walk right past that house and want to cross the street to get, be coming up the street and let's cross over. That's that cat. That cat lives there. So it's not IQ. If a little dog can learn a lesson, don't go by the cat's house because he's likely to pop you one. Shouldn't PhDs and average everyday working people be able to figure that one out? Apparently not. Because we're stupid. I've said that before. That's just the nature of man to be that way. I wish there were a quick, easy answer to that, but smart people will still be killing themselves because they think they know better. Average people will survive because they're not thinking of themselves. They're thinking their kids need them, their wife needs them, their husband needs them, their grandchildren are on the way. They don't want to miss that event because they're looking past themselves. So I guess that's the message today. I didn't know that when I started this. I'm just telling you things that I'm hearing as I hear them. Not a lot of gaps in today's thing. I'm known for gaps, but the truth is we just don't care that much about other people. We're egocentric. That's a word out of a movie. We're egocentric. We think the world revolves around us. Hundreds of years ago, the church and everybody in government thought that the sun revolved around the earth. We're the most important thing. Therefore, all these planets, the sun, everything revolves around us. And boy, were they disappointed when somebody similar to Galileo, possibly Galileo, said that no, the sun goes around. I think he was punished for making a statement like that, that no, the sun goes around us. And they about hung him. But, 400 or 500 years later, they forgave him. We still don't think of other people, we think of ourselves. And it's a shame, but that's the truth of it. I think maybe 100 years ago, we thought more in terms of our neighbors, our family, our immediate family, our neighbors, the town, what would be the best thing for the town. Do we need another bar, or do we need a health recreation center? These things were discussed and thought about in town meetings, on a Wednesday night, and most of the right decisions were made. No, we don't need another bar. Billy's still lying in the street from last Saturday when he was drunk. We can get Billy enrolled in this exercise thing. We could help him out. Okay. Blathering on. No fear, no regret, no anger. Thanks for watching.